All right, hello and welcome back. Brett here with ClickMill. So in this video, we're going to be talking about another element of a good prompt, and that is to give it an example. And now in the world of prompt engineering, which I was explaining to the ladies earlier, right now it's such a new field. It's kind of like now I forget his name. Uh, on the game show, some game show, and he's like, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Everything is just sort of made up at this point, and there are things that work better than other things, but all this stuff is going to change. And so you want to be experimenting, you want to be figuring out what works because it's going to continue to change. But right now, it's called single shot prompting and multi-shot prompting. And these are just saying examples. So why is it called a shot? I have no idea. Probably something technical in the AI world that I don't understand. But in this video, we're going to talk about single shot prompting. So as an example of single shot prompting, we say, for example, we have an AI that writes sermons. We had a pastor that was said, well, hey, I want an AI that helps me to craft a sermon. And I talk with it and it helps me make a sermon. And then he was like, well, I want a page of notes that my congregants can fill out as they're listening to the sermon. And so then we pull in the new agent and we say, all right, based on the sermon that we've gotten above, create an outline and fill in the blanks. Well, it did a really good job making sort of the outline of the sermon with fill in the blanks. But the way that it made fill in the blank was by writing the word blank in all caps. So all through this fill in the blank sort of, worksheet, there's just giant blanks that say blank. Well, that's not what I meant by fill in the blank, but it doesn't know that because I just said fill in the blank and I said all caps blank. So it just outputted all caps the word blank all over the page where the blank is supposed to be. So in order to resolve this, I had to say fill in the blank. And then in parentheses, I gave it a single shot prompt or a single example of how I want that blank to look. And so I said, open parentheses. And in the parentheses, I said example colon. So it knows in the parentheses, I'm having a little side conversation with it. I'm giving it the example directly after it says fill in the blank, example colon, and then in exact quotes, I just put a bunch of underscores. So it is a blank that they can fill in. And then I closed that off. And that's all I changed. I gave it one single shot prompt or one example of how that should look. And then I had it do it again, and I got actual blanks with underscores because I showed it how I want it to respond properly. Does the explanation of that make sense to the both of you? Is that clear?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
Okay, excellent. So that would be an example of a single shot prompt. So if you want something formatted, maybe one more example of this. Prior to us having as many people on the website as we do now, Sophie, you remember when we would get signups for whichever banner we were testing 6 months ago, and they would come into my email. Well, when I went into the emails and I copied them, it would have name colon and then the name and last name colon and then the last name and then email colon and then the email, and it'd have all these spaces. I don't want to edit all that stuff. That's crazy because when I take it over to the email softwares, it requires name, comma, last name, comma, email. And so what I told ChatGPT was take all of the information from what I give you and output. And then the way that I formatted it was brackets, first name, comma, brackets with last name in there, comma, brackets, email. And that is what, so I said, do that. And then it outputted, it took all the information, all the names and emails that it gave me, the emails gave me. I dropped them in there and it sifted through them and outputted them in the exact format that I needed to drop into the email software. And it saved me like an hour. So that would be another example of single shot prompting. Okay, any questions on that? Okay.
Well, that's just a very efficient way to work with AI.
Awesome. Okay, great. So maybe, so in the next video, what we'll do is we'll talk about multi-shot prompting. and then we'll continue on from there. All right. See you there.